Numerical system of the Mayas. The Mayans were a culture that lived from the 18,000 before Christ to the 250 after Christ. They specialized in the agriculture, calendar making, mathematics, and geographic writing. They had a very interesting numerical system because they created the number 0 and also used 5 and 20 as a number base and a dot for every number under 5. This is amazing because without having any contact, they created this unique system. This works until number 19 because when 20 begins, it is represented by the shell of the 0 and not a dot above it. Stoneheads of the Olmecs. The Olmecs were a culture that existed from 12,000 before Christ to the 400 before Christ. Some characteristics of the Olmecs were the ball games, chocolate drinking, and the distinctive big stone sculptures. They were the ones who made the enormous headstones. Most of them were 3 meters high and weighed 8 tons. It is believed that the Olmecs only made these heads because they thought that the head was the one who had the soul. The stones, which the heads were made sometimes, had to be transported 80 kilometers. Mexican independence, bad treatment, Mexican being abused, and many other things happened during the Spanish government. Mexican people were tired of this way of living, so they thought about doing an independence. This independence wasn't peaceful. Guns were also included. This all started by Dolores Hidalgo, who made a sign. They made this start. This was El Grito. This was a military movement made by the Ejército Trigarante. The main objective was for Mexico to be free and liberal again, and they did so. The Spanish left Mexico and we were free again. Spanish people left us few stuff we use nowadays. But this was not the only thing that happened through the Mexican colony. Disappearing of Mexico Tenochtitlan. Mexico Tenochtitlan was created in 3025 and destroyed in 1521. This place was something that represented Mexico during that time. Spanish always had problems with the Aztecs and wanted to finish with that place. This place was filled with the native people. Hernán Cortés, leader of the Spanish army, was the one in command of the movement, and with the fall of Tenochtitlan, the Aztec Empire was dead. With 500 people, took out the natives and destroyed the whole place. Parts of the empire are in round during these days. The expedition to find everything related to this will never end. As the independence started in 1810, it would lead to the formation of the Mexican state. One symbolic element of this time is the banner of the Virgin of Guadalupe. This was first used by Miguel Hidalgo to represent the independence movement, also known as insurgents, when he announced the Cry of Dolores in September 15, 1810, and it inspired a feeling of hope among the followers. An important moment during the independence is the invasion of Alhóndiga de Granditas, where Juan José El Pípila de los Reyes Martínez covered himself with a rock slab to avoid being shot, and made it to the igniting the wooden door that blocked the entrance of the site. This happened in September 28, 1810. Batalla de Juárez. May 1911 in Ciudad Juárez was the first victory against Porfirio Díaz's dictatorship. Rebels, led by Francisco Madero, took a stand and went against the federal forces. After 2 continuous days of fighting, Díaz's forces finally surrendered because not only was Madero taking Juárez, but Zapata, another revolutionary leader, was taking the city of Morelos. Not able to take the pressure, Díaz surrendered and stepped off power, making Madero president of Mexico. Plan de Ayala. Proclaimed November 28, 1911, in the city of Morelos. This was created by Emiliano Zapata altogether with Otilio Montaña. Plan de Ayala states that the land that had been previously taken during the Porfiriato should be given back, as well as the fair distribution of the lands belonging to the important hacendados. This was done to meet the needs and wants of Emiliano Zapata's followers, the original Zapatistas, due to the fact that the president at the time, Francisco Madero, was not doing enough. Secretaría de Educación Pública. Some years before the Mexican Revolution ended, la Secretaría de Instrucción Pública y Bellas Artes was oppressed. Mexico has good intentions in education, but the problem was that just half of the schools of the Federal District, Mexico's capital, were open. Licenciado José Vasconcelos Calderón assumed the directory of the National University and founded the Secretaría de Educación Pública in October 3, 1921, with the purpose of culturizing Mexican people for better economical development. Ejército Zapatista de Liberación Nacional. In 1994, citizens from the Mexican state of Chiapas, in the south of Mexico, took control over some villages in the state as a protest to the North American Free Trade Agreement between Mexico, United States, and Canada, which harmed a large group of native Mexican Indians. They formed an army and rebelled against the Mexican government, untying several battles between them, leaving many deaths. In 1996, President Carlos Salinas negotiated an agreement with the leader of the Zapatistas to cease fire.
The shirt is made of chain similar to the sails used. During the 9th century, it was one of the main things that a knight must wear in his armor. It lost importance in the 14th century. The shirt was 10,000 Irish rings woven together. It took many months to take a single shirt. Also, it weighed 10 to 15 kilos like the wool.
The Turkish tent. This Turkish tent was used to establish battle camps. This one that appears in the image isn't original, and it's a rebuilt copy of a photograph. In the original one, not all the parts of it were made in Turkey, just the green fabric.
This German poster by Sander Herbeck represents a skeleton throwing bombs from an airplane named Der Feind siegt den English Bird Glen. The enemy sees its light, shut it down. The United States, Great Britain, and the Soviet Union joining an anti-Hitler coalition. They were convinced that only the unconditional surrender of Germany could end the threat of National Socialism. In October of 1943, when foreign ministers conferred in Moscow, the Allies gave advance warning of severe punishment of those responsible for atrocities and war crimes. In the painting, it refers to a spirit of solidarity between the community of people. This reflects how families from Germany gave a lot to get the final victory of the war. Hitler Youths gathered for a winter relief organization. In September 1940, around 2.5 million children were evacuated from the cities that would be attacked to send them to safe rural areas. They remained in those areas until the end of the war. The statue of 1.80 meters shows the Holy Roman Emperor Charlemagne, posing with the crown on his head, the scepter in his left hand, which shows the power to govern, and orb in his right hand, showing his empire to rule. The emperor appears to be willing to stand his coronation as emperor on December 24 of the year 800 after Christ. The portrait shows the Kaiser or Holy Roman Emperor Sigmund posing with the crown on his head, the second son of Emperor Charles IV, and was born in Nuremberg. He went on to become Margrave or Brandenburg until 1415 as King of Hungary, fought the invasion of the Turkish Empire of his time, and ended up being the predecessor of Charles IV as Emperor of the Holy Roman Empire. The display case shows three artifacts recovered from an old chapel that belonged to the Holy Roman Empire. It shows an ornament in the form of a Roman wooden cross, a scepter wood and metal typical Roman cross, accompanied by a stone head that seems to belong to the statue of a soldier or hero because of the skull and the protective mesh, very common of the time of the Holy Roman Empire. Crowning of Otto von Bismarck, 1871, considered the founder of modern German state. He was one of the participants who unified Germany. Prussia, which then became known as Little Germany, and Austria as Greater Germany, reached an agreement. Uniform Great Leader Otto von Bismarck, who was given the 1866 from Wilhelm L by being promoted Major General and became leader in 1894.